Iowa once again plays the most boring schedule in the Big Ten. Welcome to the voice of college football, Hawkeyes. Of course, catch Corey Bratta from the Hawkeye of the Storm and myself every Tuesday at 4:30 Central Time for Hawkeyes Live right here at the voice of college football. Bring those comments and questions, and Corey and I will discuss Iowa football with you live every Tuesday at 4:30 Central Time right here. The reason, before you take offense, Hawkeye fans, the reason I call it the most boring schedule annually in the Big Ten is because, of course, everyone in the Big Ten, as things stand right now, they will change in 2024 to a certain extent with USC and UCLA on board. But for right now and for the longest time, Big Ten teams play 9 conference games. That leaves 9 or 3 non-conference games. And for Iowa, they always play Iowa State, which they should. That's a great rivalry, of course. One of the best in college football. So they should play Iowa State, but they always play 2 Group of 5/FCS games. Therefore, they don't play any other Power 5 teams. Therefore, that's what we get. We get no other Power 5 games, and we know that the Hawkeyes are going to play the Cyclones. So let's go down 2023, even though, save the suspense, it's not that intriguing. Utah State is the opener for the Hawkeyes. Iowa won this matchup in 1957 and 2002. And, of course, Iowa, won its last, they tied for the Big Ten Championship in 2002 and in 2004. Those are the last 2 for the Hawkeyes. So September 2nd against the Utah State team that went to bowl play at 6-7 last season. Then the trip to Ames to take on the Cyclones. Of course, Iowa State finally defeated Iowa 10-7 last year. Hawkeyes lead the series 46-23. They had won 8 consecutive games, losing for the last time in 2014. So looking for revenge on the road on September 9th against the Cyclones. And then the final of the non-conference games comes against MAC opponent Western Michigan, who went 5-7 this past season. Western Michigan actually defeated Iowa in 2000 and 2007. Consider that. Same MAC school defeats Iowa twice in the span of 8 seasons. Not a good look. But in 2013, Iowa won the game 59-3, so Western Michigan actually leads the series 2-1 over the Hawkeyes. Then into Big Ten play at Penn State. Of course, the two got together in 2021 in a top 5 matchup. Iowa just trails in this series 17-14 against Penn State. And then it's Michigan State, another Eastern Division opponent for the Hawkeyes at Kinnick. Hawkeyes lead the series 24-22 with 2 ties and won the 2020 matchup, the most recent, over the Spartans 49-7 in Mel Tucker's first season. Then a date against Purdue. This has been pivotal for the SEC or for the Big Ten Western Division race. Purdue October 7th at Kinnick. Hawkeyes actually trailed this series. I was a bit surprised by this. 50-40 with 3 ties. Won the matchup 24-3 in West Lafayette this past season. Then at Wisconsin, and again, the Iowa defense took care of business against the Badgers 24-10 last year. They trailed the series narrowly 49-45 with 2 ties. Go to Madison and Luke Fickell October 14th, and a new quarterback, of course, in play for Wisconsin and for Purdue. Minnesota's probably found a new quarterback in replacing Tanner Morgan. Calic Manis looks the part in abbreviated time. The Hawkeyes actually trail this series against Minnesota 62-52, although they've won 8 consecutive against the Gophers, and a key matchup that cost the Gophers dearly in 2022. The Gophers and the Hawkeyes get together October 21st at Iowa City. Then the Hawkeyes go on the road to start out November at Northwestern. They lead the series big, 53-28 with 3 ties, won the matchup by 20 points in 2021. Then they've got a date against Rutgers. Iowa and Rutgers playing 3 times since the Scarlet Knights joined the Big Ten in 2014, and the Hawkeyes have won all 3. And with defense stifling the Rutgers offense each and every time. Final 2 games of the season. Huge matchups with Iowa taking on Illinois at home. Of course, they lost this game 9-6 against the Fighting Illini. And the series is 39-37 Illinois. So I'm surprised, actually, that Iowa trails the series against Purdue, Wisconsin, Minnesota, and Illinois. Then, of course, the finale on the Friday, right after Thanksgiving, November 24th at Nebraska. Of course, the Cornhuskers cost the Hawkeyes the Western Division Championship after Iowa had won 7 straight. Nebraska leads the series 30-20 with 3 ties. And, of course, 7 straight for the Hawkeyes before losing at Nebraska. And the strength of schedule for the Hawkeyes in this one, considering their Eastern Division foes are Penn State, Michigan State, and Rutgers. Get this. The strength of schedule pretty weak for Iowa opponents here. 72-79 is the aggregate record in 2022. 61-65 out of the 9, or make that 10, Power 5 opponents. And in the Big Ten, if you take Iowa's 9 Big Ten opponents, they went 500 last season. Overall, and only 35-46 in conference. So, Iowa's Big Ten opponents, the 9 Big Ten conference opponents, 11 games under in conference play. The Hawkeyes have it all set up to make a run for the Big Ten Western Division in what is most likely the last year of the Big Ten Western Division. Your thoughts down below, Hawkeye fans. And again, join us every Tuesday, 5:30 Eastern, 4:30 Central for Hawkeyes Live right here at the Voice of College Football, Iowa.